If you like this content, please comment, like, subscribe.
Last time on Battlestar Mercury.
We are outside our own FTL navigation jamming field. We have navigational fix on all 3 heavy Battlestars. The jump keys are in and the drives are spooled.
Valkyries?
Destroyed, sir.
Playboy?
Too far away, sir. We can send back recon Raptors when things cool down. They know what to do.
This is Mercury Actual. Confirm coordinates and start the final jump countdown.
10 seconds to jump. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump.
Most of the stress had fallen on Commander Ramirez, who was the most senior commander under Lawson, among those that had survived. This time, the strategic and tactical plans of the last battles of Operation Magic Trick, the plan had made sense. This time it all fell on Stephen Evans. There was nobody above him to act as a buffer this time. The Cylon-based Starfleet was trapped in the massive rock field, spread out among the jump points that were the only safe, plotted route through the massive obstacle. There were 3 gathering points that had been scouted out. The plan to bring 3 heavy Battlestars seemed quite reasonable, based on the data brought back by over a dozen Raptor reconnaissance missions. After the 3 main strike missions jumped away from the hidden New Helios star group, some distressing news came back. 3 new concentrations of base stars were discovered, all in the vicinity of the heavy fleet, led by Mercury, Saturn and Solaria. Still, the strike plan was overwhelming, and in simulation the most likely outcome was success. If the first nuclear strike went according to plan, if the Cylons did not hit the strike force before the ambush targets were destroyed and planes were recovered. Suddenly there seemed to be a lot of large what-ifs. Now it was 12 hours past the return date of Task Force Mercury. The largest, most powerful task force in the fleet was overdue. Now Commander Evans was in command of the Colonial Fleet and was putting together a strike force to rescue Task Force Mercury. His task force consisted of the Mercury-class Battlestar, the Athena. Second was the Demeter, which was coming out of a major refit. The Jupiter-class Battlestar was led by Commander James Morgenstern, though experienced in basic air tactics, had decades of experience in the Heracles-class operations. A pair of Atlas and 4 Valkyrie-class ships rounded out the planned task force, which was provisioned to provide extra air power. A dozen support warships had been damaged in strike missions 1 and 2, and other actions in preparation for the battles. These damaged ships were in the queue for repairs at the mobile shipyard. His wife was recovered from her miscarriage, was back in the exoslot, was preparing the Athena to lead the rescue task force. She was depressed and withdrawn after that experience, though she was processing through it by working hard to improve every department on the ship. The fitness report on the Athena was very high due to her return to duty. She was once again the heart and soul of the Athena. As he flipped through the fitness reports of each ship in the task force, a lieutenant junior grade softly padded into the office and laid some folders on the desk. More intelligence information, none of which gave any indication as to the fate or disposition of Task Force Mercury. There was a soft knock at the door. Corey Brooks, looking rather crestfallen, walked into the office, in her signature white blouse with khaki skirt uniform. Commander Evans stood up, his back ramrod straight.
You weren't planning on jumping away without giving me the talk about how you will be careful and bring Admiral Lawson home, are you?
He gestured toward the cheap, folding chair in front of the desk, which had previously been occupied by a supply master sergeant.
No, Miss Brooks, I was planning on assigning you an officer to keep you up to date.
What the frack do you think happened, Commander?
Could be something simple like FTL damage.
It would make sense, though, if they had to stay behind and defend one of the heavy Battlestars.
Or it could be they were ambushed and utterly destroyed. That is why we have to jump to see for ourselves.
So why is it important to send a mission now?
Well, if there are Vipers and other planes that were left behind by their base ship, destruction, or an emergency jump, each pilot carries a 48-hour reserve of oxygen. We need to get there and rescue any pilots we can. That and the flight recorders from damaged planes and even capital ships will give us some idea what happened.
So we need to get there before the oxygen runs out, because living humans will provide better information than a flight recorder. Am I right?
You are correct, Miss Brooks.
If they are lost, you are going to have to be my admiral. We seem to have made it into New Helios without the Cylons finding us. I am relying on you to close up and pull back, so we don't give away this position by conducting a hunt for the Mercury when hope is lost.
I understand, sir. Every other battle site we have reconnaissance on did at least yield some clues as to what happened. If they got destroyed and a camera was collecting footage or a scope was tracking, we will grab that data.
Are we going to be able to defend this place?
No, sir. If they discover us and jump in with a force of space stars, no way we will hold out. Even at our peak strength at the beginning of the Second War, we cannot survive a major Cylon invasion. If we disappear, that will give us the best chance of survival. That was Admiral Lawson's plan. Our only hope is a successful conclusion of Operation Magic Trick.
Does this reconnaissance make sense? Might it be better to close up and hide now?
We don't leave people behind like that, sir. It is extremely likely that we will find survivors even if the task force was ambushed and defeated.
Well then, Commander, I won't keep you any further. Good hunting.
Yes, sir.
That was way too easy, he thought after getting back to the tiny desk, designed for a low-level bureaucrat. Checking his messages, Commander Evans found 3 messages from jewelers offering discounts on Admiral's rank pins. Grumpily, he looked at his watch, seeing that Admiral Lawson was only 13 hours overdue. These merchants had better intelligence on fleet movements than the head of the fleet's intelligence division.
chance. Pleasure.
The pleasure is mine, Commander.
We're going to be doing ranks and pageantry, sir. I prefer captain. But in this situation, call me James.
You can be casual with your crew. I need you to respond to Commander. As you know, Admiral Lawson, Commanders Modi, and Ramirez are 14 hours past due from a very critical battle. We're going out with a heavy task force to try and find out what happened to them and rescue the survivors from a battle that may have been lost. The likelihood of combat is high, and we need to know who's in charge in case I get killed. Commander Morgenstern, that would be you.
Aye, sir. I know we need to make it in the 48-hour window before the O2 runs out for the pilots that we can't afford to lose. And it's a hostile area, and it's definitely shoot first and ask questions later. Me and my men will be ready.
I understand you're refusing to onboard Mark 7 Vipers. Why is that?
Sir, my squadrons have trained heavily with the Mark II Viper over years. And the years of deep space travel, the tolerances of our tubes aren't what they used to be. Not to mention the lack of parts. I'll keep the Mark IIs, if you do. I do appreciate the offer, though.
In an emergency, can the Demeter recover Mark 7 Vipers and all Raptor types?
Aye, sir. We have the manuals and we are trained. We have a good supply of reserve parts and we can get them off the deck if we need to. My CAG says we actually just won a exercise against a squadron of 7s, so my boys can hold up in a fight.
I understand your executive officer is a lieutenant junior grade. We're going to need to deal with that situation, but it can wait until after the mission. Command of the task force goes from me to you and then Major Evans. The commanders of the smaller ships may have rank, but they don't have the experience they need to know when it's time to give up on a mission.
I know they call me the odd Aquarian. I'm an old man, but I understand the importance of the mission, and I will execute to the best of my abilities. And sir, I pick my bridge crews based on merit. If you have someone there that can hold up, I'll be happy to take them.
Commander, you seem to have picked up quite quickly on our strategic situation. Good hunting and thank you for your assistance. Toddler, Matthews stood at the podium in Athena's large pilot-ready room. As he gazed around the room, he noticed a lot of new pilots that he not recognized. On the monitor behind him was a countdown timer to the end of 48 hours of reserve oxygen. A signal had been received from the battle site, relayed by a recon bird. The clock read 33 to 30 and counted down. Of course, Captain Matthews knew why all the extra pilots were here. The countdown clock on the monitor behind him told the story. Admiral Lawson, now almost 15 hours past due, was a much maligned personality for whom most pilots had strong feelings about. For 3 years now, she had led this fleet. In spite of all the jokes about her hobbies before the fall of the colonies, most held her in high regard. When she's gone missing for several weeks to rescue the residents of the first settlement, Rumors had gotten out that she was off on a special mission and pretty much nobody worried. This situation was much worse. The battle was supposed to be the closing act of Operation Magic Trick. The point of the magic trick happened to make the colonial fleet and civilians disappear. The operational plan was to win a massive battle and destroy the enemy fleet that was pursuing them back to New Helios. The last thing that Operation Magic Trick needed was a messy battle that required a lot of jumping and flights and further fighting. One simple mistake could lead the Cylons straight to New Helios, and end the streak of the magic trick, which had up to now been very successful. He touched the live microphone and heard it echo.
For those of you that don't know me, I am Captain Todd Matthews. My call sign is Toddler. You might have thought that meant something different now that you know my first name. I see a lot of new faces here. This is an air wing that works hard and operates by the book. We will take high risks to save our people and leave nobody behind. That does not leave room for stunts, crazy maneuvers, or anything that can put your fellow pilots or this ship in danger. We go skids up after a combat jump in 30 minutes. We need to rescue anybody that needs rescuing, collect information as best we can, and get the frack out of there without anyone else getting dead. Stay on mission. Collect as much data as you can. Protect your wingman or wingmate, shall we say.
Everybody in the room immediately stood to attention. Toddler looked over his shoulder and saw Commander Evans walking to the podium. "Admiral on deck," someone shouted. The first word of that sentence drew a sharp look from Evans. Stephen Evans walked to the podium, touched the mic and spoke.
That's Commander on deck, Nuggets. There is only one admiral in this fleet. That is Admiral Eva Yevka Lawson, call sign Shepherdess. Preliminary data indicates that there may have been a need for an emergency jump. Recon Raptor shows several transponders from the Valkyrie-class Battlestars in the battle area. There are other transponders from Viper pilots who were not rescued by search and rescue. Our mission is to clean up that mess. Operation Magic Trick must come to a close without revealing the location of New Helios. I expect your best in this mission. I expect you to stay focused on that goal. We are there for our comrades, but this operation is our best chance for the survival of our species. We have to be ready to die to protect our secret. That being said, fight hard and good hunting.
Commander Stephen Evans had a solemn look on his face when he turned and walked off the stage. A pilot stood up, clapped his hands together and shouted, "So say we all." This chat was repeated several times before the commander managed to leave the room.
So say we all.
Combat landings are authorized. Make sure the air wing stays in fleet defense positions and they stay out of flak engagement zones.
Yes, sir. All birds are in the correct deployment. The good news is we got 9 jumps away from New Helios before we encountered any toasters.
Set condition 1 throughout the ship. Get every gun ready and bearing on the hostile. Set condition 1 throughout the ship. Get every gun ready and bearing on the hostile.
They are making a strafing on astern port side.
Signal to Demeter, pre-planned engagement turn, let her act protectively so they don't collide with the smaller warships.
Demeter is acknowledging and engaging the gunships.
Aye, sir. Boys, hard over to port. Full defensive fire. Get our buckets on the deck now. We are leaving.
This is Athena Actual. Recall all birds. Combat landings now, now, now.
FTL is green. All ships report boards are green. Ready to jump.
Commence jump now. All of this has happened before and will happen again.
If you like this content, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you like this content, please comment, like, subscribe.